Welcome, historians. Have you ever wanted to know the sad backstory behind Chuck E. Cheese?
Or why Blake Lee was so bad?
Then Secret Histories of Nerd Mysteries is the podcast for you. Join host Austin and Brenda on a rollicking journey through obscure nerdy topics.
Be updated with new episodes every Wednesday. Find us wherever you get podcasts.
Beep, beep, boop.
You know things, I know some too. Sit right down, the femsplain them to you. If there's a thing you want to explain, these two feminists can entertain. Nerdy stuff, sexy stuff, so much to know. Tune in for the Femsplain Show.
Femsplain!
Good morning, listeners.
Good morning, Avalon.
Oh, good morning also, Diana.
That's fine. That's absolutely
I just want to get
fine.
it out of the way and say that I've been crying. Because I think I sound weird, probably.
I think you sound normal, but I think also we can use our small platform to normalize crying.
Thank you, Diana.
We could just say that it's okay to cry in this.
But not on the podcast.
Not on the podcast. Don't cry
No.
on the podcast, but before the podcast, after the podcast, while
Yes.
editing the podcast.
Yes.
Good times to cry.
Are listeners allowed to cry while listening?
Yes, but please, I don't know, wait till after you're done crying to tell us about it, because I feel like that's too much responsibility.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't ever need to be told.
I know. Don't tell us.
I mean, if you must.
Yeah. If you
But
have to.
I've been experiencing a lot of crying constipation lately.
Like you can't cry and then
Yeah, but I
suddenly...
can feel like I really
Yes.
need to. Well, I mean, there's no suddenly. It's just like the sensation of needing to and not being able to. So if you are able to cry listening to this podcast, maybe it's a good thing.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a good thing. I also was having trouble crying, and then I don't know.
And then I saw your face.
Yeah. Yep. That's pretty much it.
Anyway, what is this?
This is a podcast to cry to called Femsplained, where femmes have the mic, but people of every gender, identity, and expression are welcome to listen, laugh, and learn with us about whatever the fuck we want to talk about.
Yep.
Yep, that's it.
Last time we talked about...
Black Sails.
Oh,
The
weird.
gay pirate show.
That was a fun one.
That was a fun one. I really
But
liked
an
it.
unexpected topic, yes. All right. What has nerd culture done for you?
What is nerd culture is doing a lot for me right now. I'm very excited. I'm going to be in an actual play on Kobold Press. I'm going to play a fucking adorable mushroom character, and you should tune into that. It's going to be on Tuesday nights. I'm really, really psyched to play Scarlet Citadel, I believe it's called. So there's that. What else has nerd culture done for me? Sonic.
You know what's
what?
interesting? No, I'm interrupting you. About about your mushroom character is I've played 3 characters who are named after mushrooms but are not themselves mushrooms.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Who?
Mice in Neverland.
Is named after a that's who I was
Was-
asking this for. Mice is named after a mushroom?
Yeah.
There's a mushroom called mice?
Well, so Mice was MYCE,
Right.
and her full name on my character sheet was like mycelium or whatever, which is like a phosphorescent cave mushroom because she grew up in like Underdark, and I wanted her to have glowy armor.
Oh my god, that's so awesome. Okay.
And then I was in a silly kind of like Scooby-Doo-esque game with friends where we were all bards, and we had been in a band, like a one-hit wonder band that was washed up, and we were like all fungus themed names and stuff like that.
I like that.
And I have a third one that I can't remember. But yeah, I had a moment recently where I was like, God, what is with me and mushrooms?
What?
And then you appeared as the cutest mushroom of them all.
I'm really excited about it because I did not name the character anything mushroom related. I did not do any research into mushrooms whatsoever. I was just like, cute, floppy hatted boy is what
I love that the hat.
Isn't it cute?
Where's it from?
Some Etsy seller sells little berets.
I love it.
Painted like mushrooms.
Well, I want to wear it like in real life.
I know. I might.
I love berets.
I could see that makes sense. You are.
I used to wear a lot of berets
you are
in college.
a beret person. I can see.
Oh no. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry, I interrupted you. So Sonic
announced that they're coming out with a game where Sonic is a fucking doctor in a hospital.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, I feel really targeted by that, so I'm definitely gonna play it. And are teasing the new Sonic movie, which makes me happy because I want that in my veins right fucking now. And yeah, so I'm pretty jazzed about that. And just my birthday's coming up, which I think is a nerd culture event that
extravaganza for sure.
Absolutely. And I'm going to be really annoying about making myself the center of attention on that day.
Nice. Good for you.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Excellent.
So, Avalon, what has nerd culture done for you lately?
I've watched The Nevers. It fucking stanks like Joss Whedon.
Fucking Joss Whedon.
But but like it's got some it's entertaining, but
Sure.
I don't know. Whoever said they took him off the show a couple episodes in was clearly too late
Yeah.
for that Joss stank. But
No. Well, I mean, the premise of it seems very Jossy.
it is. Yeah, it's
like-
it's traumatized women who get superpowers and then yeah. It also is such a direct like X-Men rip in weird ways that I thought I would think that was cute, but it actually just feels lazy.
Well, sure. Instead of writing an original story for women protagonists, let's just rebrand an already written story
Yeah.
with some women characters. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
You got two X-Men going around adopting people with superpowers that are being shunned by society, putting them in an orphanage where they all grow up together. They're benefactors in a wheelchair. I don't know.
It seems like the same story.
It's the same.
And he's just like, do you think some of it is that Joss Whedon's like, fuck you, Marvel.
Maybe.
I'm the genius here.
God only knows. Yeah. Yeah, I'd buy anything.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, I hope it's good. I might watch it eventually.
I would watch it. It's very watchable. It's just as you're watching it, you're like,
The bar is so
do you
low.
smell that? Do you smell that Jaws?
That
Yeah.
Joss stank? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unmistakable.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's worth watching. It's fine.
I'll probably check it out.
Yeah.
We talk about today's topic. You should definitely get a man in here. I would love to hear what the fuck he has to say about this topic. To explain it to us. So take it away, Francis.
In a mansplain minute. Ooh, everything's explained. In a mansplain minute. Ooh, tell the ladies what to say. In a mansplain minute. Putting 1 minute on the man watch and go. The Scholastic Book Fair. Buckle up, Gen Z. We're going on a trip through time. You see, before Amazon sold everything, including your favorite James Bond movies, they only sold books. And before Amazon sold books, you would buy books in stores like Borders or Barnes & Nobles. But casting our time machine even further back, before the major retail book superstore, you had the Scholastic Book Fair, where the books came to you. POV.
You are in the 3rd grade. You are 9 years old, and your teacher just dropped something kick-ass in your cubby. It looks like a newspaper, but instead of being filled with a bunch of boring bullshit, it's full of colorful pictures. Pictures of books. Great books. Animorph books, because the Scholastic Book Fair is coming to your town. And even though you've seen books wall to wall at the library, this time it's different. This time it's awe-inspiring because those wall-to-wall books are in your shitty cafeteria. Also, there are some really cool pencil sharpeners, but you are not allowed to buy them because you have $8 and it is for books only. Mom's rules. And that's your Mansplain Minute.
Okay, we're here and we're ready to fucking talk about the like drug addiction that was the Scholastic Book Fairs.
It's the event of the year. It was like
the
Met Gala for elementary schools around the nation.
Oh my God. It was like a frenzy. Like it was like
there's no high that we will ever experience.
No, I don't
as
think
adults?
that I could.
No.
I don't think that I could drink enough or do enough drugs to get the feeling, the euphoria of being at a Scholastic Book Fair.
Which is funny because we could just go to a bookstore.
We could go to a bookstore anytime.
Yeah.
I have a bookstore on my phone. I have a bookstore in my fucking pocket.
Yeah.
But it's just different. You know, all right, so my first theory is that the Scholastic Book Fair, also because it was booked, like I loved books growing up, but it is weird that books were the thing freaking us all out and not like, I don't know, candy or toys or whatever. But I think part of it is that because the Scholastic Book Fair happened during the day at school.
Yeah.
And your parents were not a part of it.
Not involved.
So you were given money. And the
human money.
And the ability to buy a thing. Unsupervised.
Yeah.
And I think that was where the high comes from.
I think so too. Definitely.
Yeah.
And the choice.
Yeah, choices were overwhelming.
Now, would you spend your money on non-books?
Okay, so here's all right, I'm going to out myself here. I know I've talked about it before, but I was a very picky reader. I was a big reader. I devoured books, but I was so obsessed with like my 2 or 3 book franchises. And I did not venture outside of that. Like very rarely did I. So if there had not been a new Animorphs book release, a new Goosebumps book release, or a new, I don't know, historical fiction diary book series, whatever the fuck that shit was called.
Yeah.
If there was not a new one of those, then yeah, I would buy like a Trapper Keeper or like a fuckload of weird erasers.
Wow.
Or the other thing was I really liked those like historical fiction fake newspapers. That was another one that I would buy. But yeah, what was your take on the non-books?
Oh my God. I don't think I was allowed to buy the non-books.
Yeah.
But I also didn't really want to. Right. There was some temptation. You know, some of those erasers are pretty cool. And the posters, but I knew if I was given $10, it had to all go towards books.
It had to go to a book.
And that wasn't hard for me because I liked picking up new books. I thought it was fucking cool.
I just had a fucking memory unlocked of being so upset because I was given like the budget for like one Animorphs book, which was like, I don't know, probably like $19 or something like that.
No way. Was it more than like $7.99? Continue.
I don't know.
$19 in the 90s?
Know. Yeah, no, you're right.
In a pre-Amazon world? No way.
No, you're right. You're correct. But I have this memory of being given like exactly the amount that I would need for one book. And none of them had come out recently. And I was looking around and there was like this it was a book. A book was involved, but the cool part was that it came with a bunch of rocks.
Yeah.
It was, I guess, like a book about rocks that came with a bunch of actual physical rocks. But it was like, it was way outside the amount of money I had. And I was so upset. I was so sad that I could not buy these rocks.
Ugh, damn. That was hard.
That's hard.
Was there like a catalog or something that went home? Because I feel like my parents and I picked out the books ahead of time, and then I would go and get them.
So you could do that. And then you would have them pre-ordered and they'd be there. And that was the safest way to make sure you actually got the books that you wanted.
Yeah.
Especially if you were particular and wanted like a specific book, and the chance that they could show up and not have it or only have one copy or whatever was pretty high. So you got this little like, oh God, the little Bible paper form that you could like pencil in and fill out and prepay and order, and you could just go and pick them up. But I never did that. I never did that, and I regretted it every single time because I would always miss out on things.
God. Was there an adult there besides the librarian?
Well, I think somebody like from Scholastic
Yeah.
was there or something. I don't know.
But like, what a good job,
Yeah.
I assume.
To go around and like witness kids.
Do you remember how the shelves like were like coffins?
Yes.
They all rolled in like big metal coffins and then popped open.
Oh my
Damn.
God.
That had to be a great job.
Must have been. You just like watch kids freak out all day.
Yeah, like fucking lose it.
Yeah. What did you usually go for?
I mean, it depends on the age. I've always been a big fan of fiction.
Yeah.
I meant to say the word fantasy. Fantasy is what I meant to say.
That's one of the two types of books. Okay.
Yes. I've always been a big fan of words.
I also enjoy words. I enjoy words when
On
they're
paper.
on paper.
No, I meant to
in
say
a
fantasy.
row.
I went through a historical fiction phase, especially American Girl early on. Eventually, I got into kind of like ghosty YA. I feel like there were a lot of books where it was like, this is kind of vaguely romantic and also vaguely spooky.
Yeah.
So I had that going for me for a while. I got really into Series of Unfortunate Events via Book Fair.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And those like Diary of a blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I also had a phase. I feel like there were a lot of books about tornadoes for a while.
I don't recall that.
It was like post Twister, the movie.
Yeah.
There were just a ton of books that were about like a fictionalization of a small town during a tornado. I lived where there were a lot of tornadoes also, so I think that was part of it.
I do recall like when Twister came out, there was like just a frenzy about tornadoes all the time.
Yeah, it was like when
Yeah.
Jaws came out, I assume, because I wasn't born. And there was a frenzy about sharks.
Everybody was talking about sharks all the time.
I never got any of like the craft books that were in the main tables. Like when you first walked in, I feel like the displays really pushed like friendship
Craft
bracelet
books.
books, craft
I
books, rock
always
books.
wanted them. I always wanted them, but it was
Yeah.
always a choice between that and the latest release of my favorite series.
Yep.
And I could never pass up the opportunity.
And I remember like the borderline lust of wanting an eraser at the checkout
Yeah.
and knowing I wasn't allowed to buy anything else.
There was one, you know, I went to a public school that had like a wide range of people in it, meaning that we had some people who were very North Shore, Long Island wealthy. Not many, but they were there. And it was always very interesting because on Scholastic Book Fair days, they were given checks, like blank checks.
What? Blank ones?
Yeah, to just fill out and pay at the counter whatever the balance was. And I will never forget that. Like, I will never forget, like, just the absolute astonishment of just not understanding how, like, what that could life
If I
was like.
was a child and I was given a blank check for a book fair, I would not have bought anything because I would have been so
Paralyzed
afraid
by the fear
of accidentally buying a selfish amount that I would have just not gotten anything.
Yeah, I don't think that these children were raised to have that mindset. So
I would be so afraid that I would cross a line accidentally, not knowing where the line was, that I would just buy one dictionary and call it a day.
Yeah. Be like, I'm so sorry that I
know,
bought this
I would.
dictionary. I can picture it. I can picture the panic attack on the way home.
Now, did your book fair have like a back room, like a dirty books back room?
What?
Like a parent note. I said dirty, not dirty, but like controversial books.
You say more. I don't understand.
So where I grew up, whatever books of the season that were considered demonic in polite society would be in the librarian's private office, and you would have to have a handwritten permission note to shop those books.
Is this a Tennessee thing? Is this what
Probably
I'm
a Bible Belt thing, yeah.
Oh my God, no.
So at one point, Harry Potter
thing.
was back there. Anything related to Pokemon was back there.
Pokemon did turn me gay. That's why I am the way I am. Is Pokemon.
Philip Pullman, Golden Compass stuff was back there, which makes sense because it is. I mean, it doesn't make sense, but at least it's like explicitly anti-Christianity,
sure.
Unlike Pokemon.
And I'm sure that I don't know if Scholastic had any hand in any sort of like tabletop-y fiction, but D&D stuff would have been better.
It would have been probably, yeah. Anything at some point, anything that was sort of vaguely Japanese was back there.
Oh my God.
Because people started getting confused about what was the devil and what wasn't. So like that How to Draw manga book that was going around on Twitter recently as having a funny impact on a lot of us was back there. Just how to draw anything Japanese was back there. So,
wow, I did not think that you could tell me something I didn't know about the Scholastic Book Fair. I was like, this will be pretty basic. No,
I felt pretty elitist.
Not have this.
If you had the permission slip, you kind of like felt like, man, your parents are fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Oh my God, absolutely. You're better than everyone. If your parents aren't so dumb that they think Pokemon is going to make you worship the devil.
Oh my God. Wow. And so
I don't think that was Scholastic. I think that was like up to my school to do. I think my school did that. Yeah.
Right. It doesn't seem like it.
No, I don't want to blame Scholastic for that.
Would be a corporate decision in their favor. No, like some of our books are terrible. Let's hide them from the children.
Oh my God, wild
when you
times.
Said adult section. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Scholastic Book Fair. What happened when we were 8?
It does. It reminds me of when you go to what's the sex store on Long Island?
Expressions?
Yeah, it's like any one where you can access the clothes or you can show your ID and access the dildos. That's what it was like.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and I think we all know Pokemon is definitely the dildo of the book world.
Some of them look like they were designed that way. So
I mean, yeah, some of the later generations for sure.
Yeah. Wow. I do definitely recall getting tricked into Satanism by Pokemon. Okay. So like what couldn't like be interpreted that way is
right,
wild.
exactly.
I mean, like the Goosebumps series was super popular.
Absolutely.
And never, I don't think was ever directed any of that like ire.
No.
And I mean, that shit messed me up.
Yeah.
I will not forget. There's one like about a seatbelt that like automatically tightens. You know how like the seatbelts like tighten when you get into an impact. But this one, once it tightens, it never stops and it crushes you to death.
That was a whole book?
No, it was like in a book as like a as like a part of a story.
I mean, there are so many of those books that like I believe you.
Yeah. But like the whole ventriloquism doll series like messed me up. I don't think any of our fears are natural. I think they were all cultivated.
For sure.
By R.L. Stine.
Did you read R.L. Stine's series for like slightly older kids called Fear Street?
No.
I liked those.
I had a really hard time. I still do. I have a really hard time like with change, and I've always had a hard time like reading the next series. Like I also had a hard time reading other books from K.A. Applegate, even though I think intellectually I know that they've probably gotten better over time. But I had such a hard time letting go of Animorphs and those books not being that like it just, I couldn't get over it. I have attachment issues.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I got really into this one author and I just read everything by her. And I think it was via Book Fair. But it was the only time in my life I've read like romantic things or sought out romantic things. And it was for kids. But there's this one book in particular that was just about like a goody two-shoes girl at a library who falls in love with kind of the bad boy at her high school.
Sure.
And he rides a motorcycle. And then...
yeah. He's bad.
You find out he found his dad's dead body when he was younger. And his dad had died by suicide. And then he gets in a motorcycle accident. And you find out he has AIDS.
What?
And
from the motorcycle, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really remember. I think just from his promiscuity. But she loves him. And I think that they have sex in the book. Like they cut away. But I read that in like 4th grade. And that's like a lot.
Yeah. I have.
So that's what should have been in the back, potentially.
Yeah, but no.
Yeah, but no, Pokemon.
Pokemon, definitely.
Yeah.
Do Jake and Cassie, I just, another memory that might be fake, but do Jake and Cassie have cutaway fade to black sex in the
I didn't read the
series?
whole series. I read pretty far, but I didn't get that far.
I think that they did. I think that happened. I feel like
Good for them.
Yeah. I feel really proud of them.
Would you be interested in a Where Are They Now reunion book by K.A.?
It would be so depressing. She already went so hard with like the 6 months later part of that book with like Marco doing like TV shows and making jokes while the rest of them like waddle through their depression, whoever's alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be fucking devastating. That'd be really devastating.
Would you rather a one story 15 years later or a Next Generation series?
It would, you know what? I think that she would actually, just because of how that story is written, which is that like, it's a very realistic portrayal of war through, the digestibility lens of children. But I do think that she would do a good job at making that too realistic, in that it would be like how after like the Animorphs all like have aged a little bit or possibly passed away, that like no one fucking remembers what the world like barely escaped from. And so when it starts to happen again, like no one sees it coming or cares, and like just allows it to happen again with like the next sinister alien regime.
I would read that.
I would read that. I would love it. What I would love is that I would love for, because I have now noticed that in every story I've read ever that involves fantasy races, all fantasy races are all a monolith. So like all Yeerks are X, and like all I would love it if we got a follow-up where there are like factions of Yeerks.
Yeah.
Like some of them are fucking evil and some of them are not. Because that's, just more realistic and more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why when you asked me earlier what kinds of books I would get from the book fair, I didn't give you the correct answer, which I just remembered, which is anything with a cat on the cover.
That feels right. Yes.
Yeah. That is absolutely how I would pick out books at that age.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or cat in the title, or like,
at that age, like you have grown out of that. Like,
yeah, I've really grown out of that. I have a cat on my shirt right now. But sometimes it's a real gamble. Like sometimes it would be like the book, it's like this cat. I don't know if you remember that, but it's a story of a boy who sort of has a cat who sometimes he talks to, but barely.
Sure.
Or it would be like Time Cat, which is a story of a cat who would travel through time. So like that would be a win.
Right. Yeah, it's a gamble, definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely a gamble.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just an inspirational work poster.
Yes.
That's wrapped up.
Yes.
You think it's the book.
Which brings me to my most important point.
I'm on the edge of my seat. Oh my God.
So when I was in high school, by the time I was in high school, I was going to a school that was actually K through 12.
Sure.
So I was like a junior and a senior in high school who still had a book fair. Granted, the books were not for me, but my homeroom class was in the library. So during book fair week for all the little kids, like I got to be in there and I stole so much. But that's not what I'm proud of.
I'm proud of you.
I kind of feel bad about it. Because what did Scholastic ever do, But like, it's kind of like if you got the opportunity to do the Toys R Us toy run now, after all those years of wanting all those toys, just take whatever you want.
Yeah, I would do it.
And I
look,
did.
I shooted my shot with Scholastic recently, and I never got a response back. So I
What
think
the
that's
fuck?
okay. I'm proud of you.
Were you trying to be a book fair lady person?
No, I asked because I asked Mrs. Applegate if I could write an Animorphs RPG, and she said that actually it's not up to her; it's up to Scholastic. So gave me the contact for them, and I reached out, and I made a proposal with like a fancy cover letter and everything, and they didn't respond.
Well, I'm mad that I didn't know this.
I messaged
I'm
that
mad.
I was doing.
You eat shit. No, you didn't.
I did.
Find
I
it.
did. It was.
Show it to me.
It was a while back, but
okay.
I did.
Well, Control F.
I
Your own
promise
lies.
You I messaged you.
Okay, I bet you did. Well, anyway, that's fucking cool.
Well,
but when I was a senior, they had one poster there that I wanted more than I've ever wanted anything. But I was too embarrassed to buy it, and it was too big to steal.
What was the poster?
It was a poster of, this is my recollection, it might be slightly different. My recollection is that it was like a model city, like model trains, but like a city, like maybe New York City. Kind of poorly done. And then they had taken like a fluffy gray kitten and just unceremoniously dropped it on that set. So it's like kind of like uncomfortable. And they just like snapped one lazy ass picture of that. And then in big font, it said bright lights, big kitty.
Oh my God.
And it made me laugh so hard that I cried every time I saw it in the library window when I was in high school, because it was such a fucking stupid play on words.
Those things were, I mean, they were unbelievably. I hate using basic as an insult because I think it's silly, but it's so, they were so lazy.
They were so lazy. Yeah.
yeah.
It was the laziest thing I'd ever seen. And I thought it was so fucking funny. And to this day, sometimes if I get really high, I'll think about Bright Lights, Big Kitty, and I'll just laugh and laugh. But I would do anything for Bright Lights, Big Kitty.
Okay, great. I found it.
Is it like my memory at all? It's so lazy. Show it to me on the webcam.
I will. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. Oh my God. It's sold out on Poshmark. That's all you can buy it on.
Motherfuckers.
Wait, come back, you.
Okay, so I'm misremembering it. It is not a model city. It is a kitten that is the worst Photoshop ever onto two different skyscrapers. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's also good. Potentially better. Either way,
they didn't even try
lazy.
to make the paws line up. There's one paw just hanging in the air.
Yes.
Between two buildings.
The most fucking lazy thing you've ever seen.
Oh,
and
my
like they could have
God.
gotten the cat like looking at the camera, but instead the cat's just like
confused.
Where am I?
Yeah. I remember like the hang in there one.
Yeah, hang in there is like motivational. Bright lights, big kitty.
Not
what?
motivational.
There's no occasion for it.
No, and it's not like.
And who's the target audience? Is it people who like cats? Because it's not a good picture of a cat. Is it people who like cities? Maybe. But I regret to this day not buying Bright Lights Big Kitty.
Oh, wow. If it was not sold out on Poshmark right now, I would have bought it for you. But it is I cannot believe it. That the only way to buy this right now is to buy it from people reselling their nostalgic Scholastic merch.
I want Bright Lights Big Kitty tattooed across my entire back.
With the picture, obviously.
With the picture, yes.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
And the font doesn't really make very much sense either.
No. They obviously did not have Canva. If they
did not.
It would have been better.
They didn't have anyone with like any graphic design experience. Anyway, Bright Lights Big Kitty is the real culmination of the Scholastic Book Fair for me.
Yeah. I think, man, I also got, I think the other thing that I got into because of the Scholastic Book Fair was definitely my ancient Greece phase.
Yes, yes.
My ancient Greece phase was fostered by Scholastic.
I would say for me it was my ancient Egypt phase.
Ancient Egypt phase, totally valid. Another facet. And my dinosaur phase, because they sold me, and this was the one time that I actually did the like prepaid thing where you buy it ahead of time, and it was a subscription. And it was a binder that came empty. And then each month they would send you like a packet of
like zoo books.
10 pages about dinosaurs. And I have been made aware that the same thing exists for animals that are currently alive.
Zoo books.
Yeah. I had no awareness of that. But
Well, Zoo Books had commercials.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't.
I didn't have Zoo Books, but I thought it was really cool. And I have often thought of making a similar subscription service for something related to TTRPG.
Yeah.
Where you have like a fun binder and then every month you get like 3 NPCs that you get to clip into it.
Oh, that's cute.
I just like different that. Or like different items and stuff like that. And it comes with like neat separators for like, here are bad guys, here are items. Okay, this month you get a map and an NPC and an item.
I love that.
And it's like all color coordinated, so you just put it in your little binder.
Oh, I like it. You should do it.
Yeah, sure. I'll add that to the list.
Yeah.
Of stupid shit that I'll never follow through on. Anyway.
Well,
but yeah,
I like it.
I like
Someone
it too. Well,
else
I like
do
getting
it
stuff
so
in
I
the
could buy
mail. No, no one else do it.
Oh, no one else do it. Sorry.
But I do really like getting stuff in the mail.
Yeah, but I loved it. And my favorite part of it was that on each dinosaur page, they showed what the comparison in size was to the average human man.
Oh.
Which I always found funny because I was like, when they were like really tall next to the human man, I'd be like, wow, that would be even taller next to me.
Every time.
Every time. Or then like when there was a dinosaur that was just slightly shorter than the human man, I'd be like, that dinosaur is my size. And I had a whole book to do that with. I loved very much.
That's hilarious. I never had like a true dinosaur phase. I had some like dinosaur peer pressure where I knew people who were cool liked dinosaurs, but I was kind of mad on them.
It was always very disappointing when you got a packet that was a lot of plants, because like
plants should not even have been an option.
Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
You know why I'm here. It's not for plants.
What, like you ran out of dinosaurs? Make one up.
I know. I'm cool with it. Don't show me ancient lettuce. I didn't come here for that.
No. I didn't even come here for regular lettuce.
Definitely not.
I think if there are any other impactful book fair things besides stealing.
Did anyone ever get the book you wanted?
I don't remember that. I think I hadn't thought about it until you mentioned, and I think that I remember that certain grades got to go like different days of the week. And so like 5th grade was Friday or something. And that by then things had the potential to run out and that could be stressful.
Yeah. That was a big concern of mine.
I had totally forgotten about that.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we always pre-ordered. I think we just sort of pre-picked it out, and then my parents would like do the math for how much money to give me based on it. And it would be like I had a little shopping list.
Yeah. Yeah.
God, I just remember wanting one of those fucking erasers so bad.
Loved a little eraser shaped like a star or a dinosaur.
Yeah. Or like a little watermelon.
Yeah. They didn't work. None of them worked.
No, too rubbery.
None of them could erase fucking shit.
Nope.
They just moved the pencil mark around. That's all they did.
What was your like Lisa Frank involvement?
Oh, yeah. So I had a weird relationship with stationery as a child.
Were you afraid to use it?
No, I loved it a lot. For no real reason. Like, I didn't really necessarily do anything special with it, but I loved to have like nice notebooks, nice note papers, like gel pens. I was definitely in. What kind of things did your school ban trends? I'm sure it must have.
Stupid stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like we outlawed Milky Pens and Pokemon cards and Pogs.
Pokemon cards, yes.
Pogs got banned.
I don't think Milky Pens were banned.
Milky Pens got banned.
Was it just too... People were just going too wild for them?
People were drawing on... so I was a big fan of drawing on myself with Milky Pens.
Yes.
I would do it to my friends, and we would do like hand art with the Milky Pens. And I don't know why that enraged the schools so much.
It did,
was a very bizarre thing, but they were enraged by the fact that children drew on themselves.
My parents would get furious if there was any ink on my hands under any circumstances.
Yeah.
Even if it was like an important note that I had nowhere to put.
I do not understand.
I don't understand.
I'm wondering, like, if one day I'm gonna wake up and be enraged by something so asinine. I hope not.
I bet honestly, like if I was visiting you and I looked over and you had like a note written on the back of your hand, I think my first instinct would be to chastise you. I think I internalized a lot of stuff like that.
That's fine. I would have fun with that.
Yeah.
So I would point out to you just how fucking awful that is. Pogs got, and Pokemon cards were outlawed in my school because
but they were like a distraction and gambling.
It was encouraging gambling. But
people would get so upset if like a trade, like blah blah blah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I lost my my Metallica slammer in a brutal competition, and I was very sour about it, and I did not.
That's so
take
fucked
that.
because like marbles goes back to the beginning of time for playground gambling.
Yeah. I did not take it well though. I was not very happy about losing that fucking slammer.
Pogs wasn't a thing for us.
Oh, I loved Pogs so much. Oh, I had my own trapper keeper for them.
Damn.
Pog sleeves.
Pog sleeve is, I don't know what, but I want to name something.
Oh my God.
Maybe a NPC.
What other things got banned? Tamagotchis.
Oh, for sure.
They tried to ban Tamagotchis, and people rioted because if you ban Tamagotchis,
they die.
They'll die while you're at school if you don't have the. Oh God.
I remember being so fidgety and anxious in my seat for the end of the day to see if it had starved or not.
You feed it and play with it like right before the bell.
Yeah, stressful.
Just to see if you could like really max out the amount of time that it could survive.
Yeah, and mine I had named Topanga.
So the stakes
and I was really worried about her.
Yeah. Well, it's fine if she died because apparently her and Corey grew up to be fucking terrible parents. Have you seen that shit?
The show?
Yeah.
No.
It is the worst
I just thought
propaganda
it would
I've
suck.
ever seen.
Propaganda for what?
For like republicanism. It's like weirdly
wild.
Conservative. And I found out that that's why What's-His-Face did not do the Princess Bride reunion table read. It was because they were raising money for a Democratic PAC. And he is apparently a fucking nightmare of a human being.
Wow. So it's like a family thing.
Yeah.
Savage family.
Yeah.
Well, fuck them.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I watched one episode and I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
I just figured it would be obnoxiously tailored for not me as a viewing audience, that generationally I just wouldn't be into it. So I didn't bother.
Well, I mean, that's true. It's not wrong. But it's also like, this is why we love America, children. And this is why we love capitalism.
Was the old show like that and I just don't remember?
No, it was not. It absolutely was not.
Wild.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Really wild.
I loved TGIF. Isn't Sabrina also? Isn't Melissa Joan Hart also a little bit of a conservative weirdo? What is going on with these TGIF kids?
Well, I mean, they're not alone. It's like it's like basically like a thing among B actors, but because I have a theory in my mind that is based solely off of Kevin Sorbo.
Okay.
And I think that if you are an ungracious human being and you have a mild acting career for a time, but you cannot make that grow naturally because you're not really that great. You can hop over into conservative media and be the bigger fish in the smaller pond.
Makes sense.
Because Kevin Sorbo and what's his face, that child actor,
Kirk Cameron,
right? They're in every single one of these movies, and now Melissa Joan Hart too, because it's this tiny pond compared to the huge pond of mainstream media. And
do you think I could get away with being in that pond? Do you think they'd buy it?
Not with this haircut.
Damn it.
No. But yeah, I used to really watch like so many of those conservative Christian movies.
On purpose?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, I went through that I
always forget
purposefully
that.
watching bad movies phase.
Yeah.
And you notice that aside from even those bigger names that are in it, like you see the same 4 actors like in every single one of these movies pops up. It's a really small pond to I think to achieve fame in, and I think that that's why some of these actors get drawn into it. I was really messed up over Stacey Dash, but
who's that?
She was in Clueless.
Oh.
Yeah. I was upset about that.
That's another TGIF though.
It is. But also she has now recanted it because it didn't work for her.
Oh.
Yeah. So I do think for some people it's strategic, like to try to like make that hop.
I mean, I definitely think that there's some comorbidity there though.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So it makes sense.
Wow, we have gone. I love where we went with this topic.
All right, so Diana,
Yeah.
if a mysterious benefactor
Yeah.
with the time machine could hand you any book fair item that you could not have, what would it be?
Rocks. Give me the bag of fucking rocks, please. Give me the bag of rocks. I'm throwing away the book. I just want the rocks.
Do you think those rocks are now dice in your life?
Oh, fuck. What? No. No, I do not, Avalon.
I feel like just give me the bag of rocks, you can throw away the book is like your whole approach to D&D.
Oh my God. I'm going to publish a book called Just Give Me the Dice. I'll throw away the book. That's it. That's
it.
my approach to D&D.
Yep. Nice.
What about you? What if you were given an anonymous benefactor, and I think I know the answer, but what were you buying?
It's Bright Lights Big Kitty.
Bright Lights Big Kitty. Yeah. I wish you had stolen it.
It was too big.
Yeah, it's too big.
I mean, I would love that same Bright Lights Big Kitty image commissioned onto like a big blanket or something.
Right. Like an oversized hoodie.
Yeah.
I feel like that could happen. I feel like we could do it.
Yeah, it probably would be like $30.
Ugh, yeah, it would.
I mean, like in a that's totally attainable way, not in like a fuck me $30 way.
Oh, well, I mean, $30 is a lot for.
Listen,
for
$30 is a lot, but we're talking like 15 years of fixation.
A pent up fixation. It's worth.
It's worth
the
it.
Big spend. Oh my God. I don't blame you. Wow.
And I'll send you a bag of rocks.
Thank you. Like, I am an adult. I can have rocks whenever I want. But there was something special.
You'll have to see if you can find this particular like book and rock kit or whatever it was.
I will. I'll have to look. I'm sure there are better ones now.
It doesn't. No.
Better rocks.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't. It has to be the one.
Yeah, for sure.
The rock identifier kit. Wow. Phenomenal. Well, we can't go to a fucking Scholastic Book Fair, which is a goddamn shame.
Yeah.
I want to say, why don't they have those for us? But there are bookstores. We can go to a bookstore.
There are just
anytime,
bookstores. Yeah.
Anytime we fucking want to.
But how often does like a fucking circus-esque wagon roll into a place that is normally boring,
Right. Like
unfold
my job.
itself to be full of brightly colored things that you want?
Yes.
Like sure, we have bookstores, but we don't have any kind of transformative opportunities like that.
Right. No, I want some sort of fair to come to my job once a year and just set up shop.
I guess just literal fairs.
But something special about it coming to you.
Yeah.
And your normal, monotonous, boring place that you have to go every day.
It's like the closest we ever get to like a snake oil salesman.
Except it's not scummy. Well, some of it's probably scummy, but for
Well,
the
no.
most part, it's like just books.
But it's enticing in the same way, even though it's not scummy. Yeah.
It's very tempting. It's so full of temptation. And if you are a kid who is given like unfettered amounts of money, it's probably not a good growth thing for you.
No.
But yeah, it's
God. I assume that you didn't turn out well if you had blank checks for the book fair.
I don't want to know where they are now. I will not be going to that.
Surely
meeting
not
to
listening
find out.
to us.
Definitely not listening to us. Maybe listening to our antithetical podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Featuring the Savage Brothers.
Yeah. Oh wow. But aside from wanting to go to a Scholastic Book Fair right now, what are you actually doing after this?
I don't know. Probably trying to figure out how I can make my eye less red from allergies. See,
It doesn't look very red.
It's like I have a sty almost. Like here.
It doesn't really look like much on camera.
I guess trying to not rub it anymore is where I'm gonna go.
Yeah. Or freeze. You should put a paper towel, a wet paper towel, in the freezer for 10 minutes, and then put it on there.
Maybe.
Cool it down.
Maybe I'll just cry some more.
Just cry. Just cry. That's my plan.
Yeah.
And then playing hopefully some Jackbox.
I hope we do that. I think it would be good. I think it would be good for us.
Love that so
Let's
much.
do that. Okay, cool.
Yeah, good. All right. Bye.
Bye.
You can find all of our Femsplained content either on patreon.com/Femsplained, Twitter, you can find us at FemsplainedCast, Instagram, you can find us at Femsplained Podcast, and you can check out superdylan.com/Femsplained to find the guest form and all of the different places where you can listen and connect with us.
Awesome. You can find and follow me, Avalon, at @A_CatAttack on both Twitter and Twitch.
And you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, and all the places at Super Dylan, and that is DILLIN.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your support. Bye.
Bye.
Fly!